Hey guys, it's Justine here from I Should Read That, and I'm bringing you another edition of popular books that I have not read yet. So I did one of these videos for YA series, and you guys seemed to really enjoy it, and also had a lot of really good recommendations for me. I've since actually read at least one of those books that was in that video, and I'll link that below if you want to check it out. So I thought that I would do this again, because I have all of these books on my shelves, and I haven't read them yet, and this is a really good way of kind of trying to get myself excited about these books again. I bought them at some point, I was excited about them at some point, and I need to pick them up. So most of the books that I have here are YA, a lot of them are sort of sci-fi and fantasy, but there's a little bit of a mix, so I'm just gonna dive right in. So the first book on this list is actually, I think, probably one of the most popular young adult historical fiction books out there. I've heard only good things about this book. This author has another one coming out this year, and I'm really looking forward to reading it, and I really want to read this one, but for some reason it just left my brain completely. So this is Codename Verity, and this is by Elizabeth Wayne. So Codename Verity takes place during the Second World War, and there's a British plane that is shot down over Nazi-occupied France. So the two people in this plane are a pilot and passenger. They're both girls, and they're both best friends. It's a devastating, shocking, compelling, and inspiring read. Once read, never forgotten. So it's kind of vague. I don't really know what this is about, but I'm really looking forward to it. I've had this recommended to me so many times, and I really like historical fiction that takes place in this time period, and I need to read this book. So the next book that I have here is a young adult fantasy. So this is Truth Witch by Sarah Dennard. So if I recall correctly, I believe there are 3 books in the series out, and the second one has been nominated for the BookTube SFF Awards. So I really want to go ahead and get caught up on this. I've just been hearing really great things, but I don't know much about it. So this book takes place in a fantasy world in which there are witches, and they have different kinds of powers, and our main character, Safi, is a truth witch, which is a very rare kind of power. She's able to discern truths from lies. So this book apparently has war and political intrigue and magic, and it's supposed to just be absolutely wonderful. Again, I've only really heard good things about this, but again, I just don't know much about it, except that people really seem to love it. So the next book that I've got on this list is one that I think kind of toes the line between adult and YA fantasy. It seems to be really popular amongst the YA crowd, however, I think it is a little bit more on the mature side of things. This is a really popular author, it's a really popular series, and I believe he's writing the 3rd one now. So this is Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. So Nevernight follows a character named Mia, and she has been raised ever since she was, I think, 10 years old to be an assassin. And this book is supposed to be incredibly dark, incredibly cool, and really fun and brutal, and apparently he just takes great joy in making us all weep and breaking our hearts, which is exactly what I love from fantasy. I bought this on the recommendation of a couple of my book blogging friends, but I just never got around to it. I believe I also have a digital review copy of the second book, God's Grave, in this series, so I really have no excuse not to read this. So the next popular book that I have not read yet is another YA book. This is Sci-fi. So this is probably one of the most beloved YA sci-fi series that's come out in the past couple of years. People love this series so much. The 3rd book, the concluding book, just came out, and I really need to get my butt in gear and read this because I know I'm gonna love it. So this is Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. So Jay Kristoff gets to make this list twice, which is kind of fun. So Illuminate takes place far off in the future, and there are 2 corporations who are at war, and there are these 2 characters, a boy and a girl, who are kind of caught in the crossfire. So one of the things that sets this book apart, if you don't know, is that it's not necessarily told as kind of a straight narrative as we're so used to. It's actually told in kind of interviews and emails and redacted documents. There's casualty lists, which I believe in the last one they included fans' names, which was really cute. And so it's a really interesting book. It's a really kind of intriguing setup. I really like the look of this. I know I'm gonna love it. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. I'm kind of disappointed in myself, as I know several of my friends probably are as well, but this is very high on my list of priorities. I really want to read this, especially now that the last book is out. The very last book that I have to show you is straight up adult fantasy, and this author is supposed to be spectacular, and this trilogy, which has just finished, is supposed to be absolutely incredible. So this is the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. The 5th season is supposed to be kind of like a dystopian fantasy novel. The world is literally ending as this book is taking place. So there's multiple characters and multiple points of view, and it's just people struggling to survive. It's supposed to be absolutely incredible. It's supposed to be amazing, and I have a feeling that once I get to it, I'm gonna love it. I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet. Out of all of these, I think that the 5th season is the one that I'm the most excited to read. I really need to read this book. So those are 5 popular books that I have not read yet. I fully intend to read them. I own them all. There's no reason that I shouldn't have read these yet. Comment below and let me know if you have read any of these books, if you have any recommendations, or if there are popular books that you haven't read yet either. And I will see you next time.